HeyImAmethyst here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the developing situation that is going on between Iskall and the rest of the members of the Hermitcraft group. Now, when I first heard about this situation, it was about 2 months ago when the Hermitcraft account made its initial post, and then the victims posting about their experiences afterward. Like, when I first found out about it, I didn't really think too much of it, and I just moved on with my day. I was like, oh, that's disappointing, and then didn't really think much of it. But after Iskall came out with his response and the situation developed further and people just started attacking each other and arguing with each other, I decided that it's time that I talk about this because it's like kind of getting out of hand. And to anybody who stumbles upon this video and cares about what I have to say about the situation, I just wanted to let people know that, hey, calm the fuck down, But yeah, I'm just going to summarize the whole thing, and then I'll talk about my observations and my opinions on the whole thing. I know that this video might cross paths with some like younger audiences, but like if the curse word wasn't a warning already, yeah. If you're sensitive to like to my cursing, or if you're sensitive to emotional abuse and stuff like that, if you're a child, please just click off this video. This video is not for you. If you're sensitive to this type of topic, I recommend that you click off this video and go and watch something else. But yeah, I'm gonna be cussing, I'm gonna be passionate, I'm gonna be talking about these things. So yeah, anyways, I'll just get right on into it. At first, the whole situation started when the Hermitcraft account posted an automated message on November 23rd, 2004. It reads, "Recently, we were presented with multiple complaints in regards to one of our members, 𝗃𝗀𝗱𝗶𝗁, by members of the community. After reviewing the evidence, we believe these complaints to be credible. When asked for a response, Iskall chose to resign. Out of respect for the privacy of the individuals affected, we will not be sharing any more details at this time. Stressmaster has also chosen to resign." And then Mumble posted on the same day saying, "Although we can't elaborate further currently, there were no minors involved." So there was like so this is like the initial situation that happened. Was it how many months ago? It's February now, so it's more than 2 months, but that's what happened in November. And then after that post, one of the victims that were involved, this was an was it like an ex Discord mod that came out with the response, and she posted a Google Doc of like her experiences, and then she shared the some more statements from other victims. I'm going to go more in detail with this Google Doc in a bit, but moving on, after those statements were posted, everybody was shocked, and people were disappointed and everything. And I didn't really look too much into the situation. I kind of just looked at it. I saw some videos on it, and I kind of just went on with my day. But there are more videos that go more into detail of the initial situation that happened. So I will link them down in the description below if you're curious and want a more detailed look of the situation. But yeah, as I was looking back and trying to like figure things out for this video, that I found this screenshot, this tweet from a video that I watched, and this was by Anticraft, and apparently this was posted in December, so December 7th, 2024. It reads, "News from Reddit about Iskall," and this is what the screenshot showed. It was by the user Think Then Act in the Vault Halters Minecraft Reddit subreddit. It reads, someone needs to say something as this is spiraling out of control. Iskall has no plans of giving up Vault Hunters. Iskall has no intentions of making a public announcement. Iskall left Hermitcraft because of an ultimatum to either give a response or leave. He said legal action was being taken against the individuals who came forward, and this was before they came forward to you. The Hermits had enough from their side to question him not being family friendly, but he already surrendered his Discord account and Skype to the police. He cannot legally respond to anyone. So instead of victim shaming he or she, how about we just wait? Let's see what comes from this. This is from someone in a country where grab them by the, and then it says there, get you elected not once but twice. I will not be answering questions or replying if the mods even permit this evidence. I simply request everyone shut the fuck up and wait to see what happens. If the victims of who we know are for sure 2, despite coming across as 4, are correct, then by all means let Iskall have it. But if he is truly wrong, then and you continue with this path, I'm sorry, just won't cut it. Downvote me, whatever, I don't care. I'm done being silent and sitting on this. If you want to be mad or feel righteous, take it to our actual leaders who have shown far more disgrace as a human than this. Proof provided to the Vault Hunters Discord mods who have decided to remain silent. And then this post had a link to another screenshot of the message from, like, supposedly from Iskall, but take it with a grain of salt, because it appears like this message was posted on behalf of Iskall and not from Iskall's account itself. But then again, it did say that his Discord was locked during this time, so I'll read it here. The screenshot says, "This stays between us." A message from Iskall. Some of you may be wondering where I am, or even more so, why have I not responded here in Discord, specifically with the news posted by Hermitcraft of me resigning. A week ago, allegations of a non-criminal nature was made against me by my community members. These allegations are completely false and have been reported to the police. We are currently in the process of starting a defamation, I think that was misspelled, investigation against several peers. Due to these allegations, mine and Stress's mental health has been extremely low. These concerns were shared with Hermitcraft, as well as the fact that the allegations have been taken to the police. Hermitcraft required us to discuss the matter with them, which we were advised legally not to do, and we were given an ultimatum by Hermitcraft, so we decided to resign. My Discord account has been locked since the 12th of November, and it will be handed over to the authorities to help them with their investigation. As for the public, I, Iskall, will not comment further. I will await the legal process. I am not accused of anything illegal, and the allegations are completely false. This also means I'm not getting paid anytime soon. I shouldn't have procrastinated by invoice. And so yeah, I didn't see this when I first looked into the situation, but canonically speaking, this is what was posted, I guess after everybody, like the initial announcement and then the statements from the victims. It seems like it was posted sometime afterward. I don't know if there was any other information posted after this. I couldn't find anything, but yeah, after that whole thing, you know, the Hermitcraft members were deleting, were disassociating from Iskall, like they removed him from their thumbnails and everything. So yeah, and then Iskall kind of just went quiet until he posted his response video on the 30th of January. And he kind of makes an attempt to defend himself in this video, and then Stress commented on his video showing support. When I first saw Stress's comment, it was on my phone actually. I saw that it was Stress, but I was confused on if it was Stressed or not because the profile picture wasn't there and everything. And when I searched up her name on the YouTube thing, at least on my phone, it still showed her profile picture. But when I looked on the channel, it seemed like it was the same account because it seemed like the profile picture was gone and the videos are gone. And now looking back into the video, I don't see her comment anywhere. So it's a bit concerning. It's a bit concerning. And given the statement that we read before that was posted on Reddit, it seems like stress is somehow involved in the situation. And I'm a bit concerned. But yeah, that's just like what the situation has been so far. The initial situation and then the break and then Iskall coming back. Again, I will post videos in the description if you want a more like detailed look on the situation. But I'm just going to move on and go into like the initial like statements by Kass, because it's something that I want to talk about, and as well as her actions after Iskall made his response. So when I read this document, I was immediately skeptical because it starts off telling us right away that she's not going to provide much photo evidence. And me being from the art commentary community and like kind of just watching from the sidelines, just watching it kind of just burn itself to the ground, I can't completely, trust it. Because if you were willing to like give the Hermitcraft members all of the evidence, why not give the public the evidence? You know what I'm saying? But like, obviously do not share like the really explicit photos that may have been shared. Like in this document, she said that no explicit photos have been shared with her. That wasn't the case with the other victims because apparently there was like explicit photos like being sent to them. But if you don't want minors to see it, like Twitter has like a way to censor that. And also you can find other avenues to try and censor like the more disturbing evidence. If you needed to like take that to the police, you would have no choice but to hand them over all the evidence that you have. Like, I would understand that going back into these messages might be really stressful and triggering for her, but in the document, then another document that I found that's like 123 pages long, it's full of screenshots. And it's full of detailed screenshots that dated back to 4 years ago. So that doesn't seem like a valid excuse not to provide evidence. How can we trust that that you provided the Hermitcraft members all the evidence? How can we trust that you didn't omit some evidence? So looking at this document, right? I'm sharing looking at this document, right? I've highlighted the stuff that I felt like needed to be highlighted. But yeah, like how can I trust that you've given the Hermitcraft members all the evidence that they needed? How can I trust that you didn't edit or tamper with the evidence, This is like the excuses that they provided. I can't exactly be trusting of this, because if you were to give this to the police, you would have to go back again to all those like messages. And unfortunately it is a triggering thing. It is very triggering, especially because like, again, I haven't experienced things like this before. And I'm trying to like understand, like, yes, it could be triggering, but aside from this, like before the situation even happened, like we didn't know that you exist. How, and in the post that the Hermitcraft account sent, they determined that it was credible, but we, the audience, we don't know what's going behind the scenes. How can we trust that the Hermitcraft members aren't lying and aren't, how can we trust that this person isn't lying? How can we trust that they didn't, edit the evidence to make them look like the victim and Iskall, the bad one? Again, like, I'm not trying to like doubt. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, you're lying, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. It's just so many times on the internet, I see people present evidence, quote unquote, but in reality, the evidence, they cut they have screenshots, but it's cut in a way that they omit context and they just edit in a way that it makes them seem like the one that's being wronged. I have plenty of examples in the art commentary community. If you've already seen my video, if you've watched my other videos on Harley and Kai and, you know, and the whole thing with creepshow art, like you would understand what I'm talking about. Another situation that I could think of is the situation that happened with Quiet, where there was like his ex-partner like accused him of being an abuser, but and everybody just went and believed them without, waiting for Quiet's side on the situation, and he started getting harassed and canceled. And it wasn't until he came out and he had to unveil his face and he had the receipts that people realized that the partner, like the person accusing him, was the abuser. So I don't mean to be critical, but at the same time, we're on the internet. We're not face to face. We don't see the evidence. How can we trust that this person is telling the truth? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like that person, but I'm very critical of things that I see online. And people just jumping in and just believing what they see without actually thinking. This is something that Iskall has mentioned in his video. But at the same time, I kind of like I said before, I have issue with the way that he decided to like handle things. But moving on to the other highlighted part, like I've highlighted some other things in the document. It just highlights the things that, like, the experiences that Kass has gone through, and it's like Iskall would like contact her and they will be friendly and everything. And like my brain just because like it's like early in the morning and my brain isn't fully working, but the document is up if you guys want to take a look at it and read it for yourself. But from reading the document and highlighting the important things and trying to look at the screenshots and everything, my question here is, even though you were quite shocked at the, initial failed attempts at him flirting, why didn't you tell him to knock it off? Why didn't you set up boundaries? Why didn't you let him know, hey, this isn't comfortable, this isn't making me comfortable, this is weird, and everything? Like, why was no boundaries set? Because from the little photo screenshot that Kass has provided, it just looks like them just having an adult conversation. And there is no links to any voice recordings or anything like that. Like, there wasn't any, it's just like them having like adult conversations, and there wasn't anything in the messages that told him, like, Kass doesn't mention that that she made the attempt to tell Iskall, oh, this isn't right. Like, even after the fact that when she mentions that after somebody told her that this isn't right, like, why didn't she confront him? Why didn't she, come to him directly to say, are you lying to me? And yes, if Iskall is the bad guy here and he tries to like lie, like if Kass caught him in the act lying like that, or he gave like a violent response, or if she told him, hey, I don't like that, blah blah blah, and they say, okay, all right, I'll stop, but then he keeps going, like if he's still like disrespecting like Kass's boundaries, like then that would be like something to bring up to the rest of the Hermitcraft members. But especially with like the fact that here, like he talked about getting back naked and having a boner, and honestly, okay, if somebody that I know came to me, right? Even if we were, starting to develop some type of romantic relationship, and then one of the calls, this person is just naked, just pleasuring themselves, and I'm like, that's too far. That's that would be like, that's just nasty. Like, even if you're trying to like be romantically involved with somebody, like, baby steps. Like, you don't baby steps. Like, this is like crossing a line. Like, that's crossing. Like, this is crossing a line. If what Kass is saying is true, like, this is just nasty behavior. But even in the last screenshot where she was trying to like confront, like somewhat confront or something like that, like she was still like attempting, like even after someone told her like this is wrong, like in this screenshot here, like it seems like she was attempting to like flirt with him. So all of this just seems iffy and weird to me. Like the other victims, right? They didn't show any screenshot, so I can't. This all, like the rest of the victims, all just he said, she said, right? There was a victim by someone who's anonymous, and then in my findings, I'll put a screenshot here, with a person named 𝗂𝗡𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. I butchered that so hard. I butchered that. Um, but yeah, there was somebody by the name of Iskall's Lab, and they posted like another statement from another victim on the Discord. I'll have to put the screenshot on the stream because I didn't screenshot, I didn't save the images in the screen in the tweet that I got, but it will be up on the screen so that you can read it. If I find it and if it's not deleted. But yeah, it's just, he, like with the rest of the testimonies, there's no photo evidence. It's just, we have to take their word for it. And again, you would have to take their word with a grain of salt because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And what's so annoying is the fact that even with like after Iskall came out, after he posted his response, like Kass, the first victim, just decided to like keep retweeting people who are just having violent reactions and labeling people like, hey, if you follow Iskall, you're an asshole, you're this, you're that. When that's not a very healthy way of going about things. Like, if it's to cope, then like I said, it's not a very healthy way of going about it because it's just weaponizing the audience that he had in a way that makes Iskall look bad. And even though he kind of did stuff that make them look bad, like, that doesn't make you a better person. That's a really shitty thing to do. And on top of that, Kass is like arguing with people on Twitter because they don't have the full picture, but she didn't provide the evidence to make them understand her viewpoint. So in this screenshot with one that I have here with one of Kass's responses, this is after like the statements came out and before like Iskall like made his response. So it was by a username SlimeBoss, and they tweeted, just found out about what Iskall did, and it was nothing. I'm sorry to the parties involved that he made you feel that way, but this is not something he should be losing his job for. And then hashtag justice for Iskall. And another reply said, if you won't provide the full picture, you don't really deserve full support. We aren't going to follow you burning Iskall to the ground. I hope you get sued for defamation. And Cassie replies, hermits have the whole picture. I'm not sharing shit that kids will see. As I said before, he would be extremely stupid to sue any of us for that. He'd be assassinating himself. And in the other response, she replied to like the tweet itself, and it says, this video doesn't even have 1/10 of the information the hermits received from us. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So yeah, in my opinion, like, if you're mad that people do not have the full picture and they're saying their opinions, like, then just give people the full picture. Like, find a way to censor it. Like, you're complaining that people don't know what they're talking about, yet you don't give the necessary evidence for people to make their own conclusions. The Kass arguing on Twitter about the evidence kind of just makes her look bad, in my opinion, and it doesn't make me want to trust her word for it. And honestly, it'll make me trust the other victims more, because even though they didn't provide photo evidence, they're not arguing with people like that and being petty. And but then again, they don't really have a social media presence, because like one of them posted a statement on Discord and the other one was just anonymous. The really vocal person here, the most vocal of the victims here is Kass, but she's not providing the evidence that people are asking for, and she's arguing with people on Twitter. Like, if you want people to understand, just give people the evidence. And because I don't trust that she has even given the hermit the full evidence and didn't just tamper with it, it kind of just shoots down our credibility. Like, again, like I said before, we didn't know about her until the situation came out. We don't know if she's a respected individual on social media. Most of us haven't heard of. Probably people who interact with the Discord may know of her, but the rest of us audience, we don't know about this person. So your credibility isn't exactly high. How can we trust you when we haven't heard about you until this situation? So yeah, that's just my opinion on like her response and everything. I feel like that if there was mention of an attempt for her, like an attempt of setting boundaries, then maybe I would look at Iskall and be like, she told you to stop and you didn't respect her boundaries. But there was no mention of any boundaries like being set and broken. Like, from the screenshots, it's just them like flirting with each other and having an adult conversation. If we had more evidence of them, of like more of Iskall's suspicious behavior, then we would probably have the full picture. But we don't have the full picture, and these screenshots that were being shown, they themselves don't show a lot of evidence, and the text surrounding them is just testimony. Like, the screenshots themselves aren't completely damning, and the text surrounding them is just he said, she said. So I can't particularly trust the words from Kass. The only thing that we could do is just wait and see if the truth comes out. But moving on to the responses that happened after Iskall made his statement. So after Iskall made his statement, the way that the Hermitcraft, the way that Kass and the rest of inside with the Hermitcraft members decided to go about the situation is just incredibly petty, and honestly, it just rubs me the wrong way. It just puts a bad taste in my mouth. At this point of time, right, Iskall did not share his side of the story with the rest of the hermits. At this point of time, he went to the police. He couldn't say anything because he went to the police. People were complaining that he didn't say anything in his response video. It's stupid. That's because he went to the fucking police. Like, how do you expect them to like share information when the police told him not to share information? Well, they were conducting an investigation. So like, did y'all just skim past that? It's like, in my opinion, I'm kind of confused with the time of events, because I think Iskall claims that like he didn't know, or someone said that Iskall claims like he didn't know that somebody went to the victims didn't go to like the allegations were being told to the members or something like that. So, but like, how did he go to the police to report defamation if he didn't know that these allegations were being spread? or maybe somebody was misinterpreting it and maybe he did find out. But it's still kind of weird because why not go to the hermits to explain himself, have an adult conversation? Why not do that? Why immediately involve a third party? That doesn't really make him innocent in my eyes. That kind of just makes him guilty. You know, why involve the police? You know, and in Iskall's response video, I understand that he would be upset at the situation, but Iskall, you have to understand, it's not just you in the Hermitcraft group. There's Mumbo, there's Green, there's Gem, there's Impulse, there's there's Scar, there's so much more members in this community, just you. And you know how long police proceedings can be. Like, they don't have time to wait for an investigation to finish. It could take months or even years for it to complete. So instead of just wasting time, they were in their full right to boot you from the group if they deemed necessary. And besides, you chose to leave on your own. It said in the statement that the account posted, you chose to leave on your own accord. So they didn't even force you out. You left. So why are you complaining that they were ganging up on you and stuff like that when they were just trying to get the proof from you? And it doesn't matter whether or not they gave you a time or a deadline to prepare yourself or anything, because you had the opportunity to explain yourself and you chose not to. So I don't know, it's just weird in my opinion, like the way that he decided to go about it and everything. But moving on to the rest of the responses, after he posted the response, some of the Hermitcraft members decided to post passive aggressive tweets on the situation, and honestly it's just really disappointing to see them respond to the situation in an irresponsible manner. I'll put the screenshots in the description, but Impulse, Cub, Scar, Wellsnight, and BDX Crafted decided to either post tweets or respond to tweets or retweet tweets of them kind of just being petty at Iskall's response. And I'm incredibly disappointed that they decided to do that, because they do they not realize that their influence, their actions, their voices have power? These tweets, these retweets, these comments, that just does nothing but weaponize their audience against Iskall. Let me remind y'all that Iskall did not give them their side of his story at this moment of time because he went to the police. So they don't really fully understand Iskall's feelings and his thought processes and what happened in his point of view. So to make these kind of character attack type tweets towards him, especially when it's a situation involving, sexual harassment or something like that, you shouldn't be making jokes about this situation. This is a situation that could potentially ruin somebody's life if it's not done correctly. This should be handled with care. We don't know the full story on both sides, and and this is the issue that I had with Iskall's response video too. The fact that Iskall decided to use specific words and specific descriptions to paint the Hermitcraft members and character attack them is kind of ironic, because he says for his audience to think critically and to not jump into conclusions and attack members. Yet he says that one of the victims has done this before to another creator, or when he was talking to about the Hermitcraft members, like he said that colors were shown and that he's glad that he doesn't have to hide certain things. Like, it's nothing but a character attack. He's using his audience, he's weaponizing his audience to go after the Hermitcraft members. And on both sides of the situation, none of them have told their audience not to attack, to harass, or to witch hunt anybody. And that's the main issue that I have with this situation, because nobody was having an adult conversation. Nobody was using their powers responsibly. And on both sides, they're using their audience to attack each other. It's like parents going through a divorce, and we, the audience, as the children, are just stuck in the middle, and the parents are just pitting their siblings against each other. It's nasty. As somebody with separated parents, and having the parents just talk bad about each other to make themselves look better, it's a nasty feeling. It's a nasty feeling coming from the experience, and it's enough to make my blood boil. The Iskall and the Hermitcraft members that decided to, like, not be the adults in the situation, they have a responsibility, and instead of using their powers responsibly, they're deciding to use their power, their influence, to, like, pit their audience against each other. And it's disappointing to see, especially with Scar, man. Like with Scar, like, he ended up deleting the tweet, but the damage was done. Like, and that's the problem that I have. Like, you can't just say, you can't just say things like that and just get away. Like, if they're not careful, somebody's going to get seriously hurt. Like, if we like, taking Iskall's word with a grain of salt, like, he's been getting harassed, he's been getting death threats. Like, if there's another crazy person in there, like, somebody might get doxxed. And y'all need to chill. Just because somebody says something on the internet doesn't mean you have to, like, believe everything that they say. And just because somebody is deciding to support one side or the other, that doesn't make them an asshole. That doesn't make them, like, this, that, and the third, or whatever labels that people are giving each other, just because one side decided to follow Iskall and one side decided to follow Hermitcraft. No, everybody has their reasons for, like, supporting somebody. And until we have the full picture and the full evidence, we shouldn't be witch hunting nobody, honestly. There's a comment that I found on a YouTube video, and it kind of just reiterates my feelings on the passive, like, the tweet. It reads, "I get the hermits may not be trying to completely address the drama, but those responses feel really passive aggressive, like they're trying to anger him further." Yeah, the passive aggressive comments on both sides are not going to help the situation. It's just going to make people mad, and it's just going to fuel the arguments that have been happening. And there is another comment on it that says, "To be fair, he was the one who had antagonized them. He literally directed his old video as an attack on how Hermitcraft handled the situation. You can't be reasonable considering none on the internet will directly attack hermits after this. It is a literal passive-aggressive attack from both sides." So, yeah, like, I understand that they're mad and everything, and even if the tweets made by the hermit does accurately paint his character, you still shouldn't be doing stuff like that. That doesn't make you the bigger person in this situation. It just makes you look petty. But yeah, it's just really weird on the whole situation. And I'm just like, it's just so frustrating, because you would think that they would handle this situation a lot better than they did. But like with the other situations that I've been seeing lately, just people who you think that would be the responsible person end up just doing things that make the situations worse. And it's weird because like, why are all these situations going on where people are just responding and handling these situations like assholes? Like, come on, like, why did we start 2025 with the world burning? Like, people, y'all need to fucking chill. Y'all need to fucking chill. Like, come on. But moving on to the other document that I found. So I found this tweet yesterday. And it was by the account named 𝗃𝗀𝗃 on Twitter. And apparently the art director behind the Vault Hunters have written the 123-page document about Iskall. And when I tell you it's a long ass document, I'm telling you, it's a long ass document. A long ass document. And honestly, I didn't have the time to read through the whole document. But looking through it, there's a boatload of screenshots. A lot more than Kass has provided. And I haven't been able to accurately deduce whether or not these screenshots accurately paint the allegations that has been put out, but it seems like a really messy situation from reading the replies on the tweet. But this is the update part. So apparently, like, this person ended up being removed from the Discord, and Iskall was manipulating people to like not talk to this person, to like not be friends, to say things behind their back. And honestly, it doesn't look good for Iskall. And apparently, because like this is what I start off with, they started off with pricing, and from reading the screenshot, he was not paying this arting accordingly. And from reading the screenshot so far about like the pricing issue, it makes my blood boil because artists deserve to be paid respectively. And Iskall decided to pay her on the level of somebody on Fiverr, and it's just insulting. Like, as somebody who used to use Fiverr to like do art and like do things and make models and stuff, this is incredibly insulting. Because this person deserved to be paid for what they're worth. They went to school. They studied. They paid money to go to school. They have experience, and she was getting paid less than that. And Iskall was trying to make it seem like she wasn't deserving of the $30 per hour, and it's just nasty. Like, yes, it was like a concept at the time, but he was treating it as if it was a business. And honestly, given how big I'm sure the project is like really big at this point. Honestly, it's a big project, and whether or not how popular it is, just like, even if it was a concept, right? You still pay your artist what they deserve. So, because assuming that these screenshots are real and that they're not edited and they're not screenshots, because like, considering how long this document is and the fact that the artist said that this was going on for 4 years ago, I this looks like, considering like, hopefully all of this is like real, and considering like the detail, I'm led to believe the credibility of like this person. The only issue is that I don't know if this person has like any other social media, because I don't know where this Twitter account got this document. I don't know if it was shared on Discord. I don't know if it was shared to anyone else. They didn't give any other like social media links to this person. So again, take this with a grain of salt, come to your own conclusions. But from reading it already, I don't this doesn't look good for Iskall at all. And like, the first annoyance already is that he didn't pay this person what they deserve. And that's already blood boiling. It's just like a messy situation, again, like I said, until we get the full picture, please, nobody attack people, nobody insult people, nobody go on witch hunts on people. Like, please do not dox anybody. Nobody has been doxxed yet from what I've seen. But please, if anybody is thinking about it, cease and desist right now. Stop what you're doing. Everybody just cease and desist your arguing. Because this whole situation, like, we shouldn't be, like, attacking people like that, you know? Well, this is the reason why we shouldn't even be placing so much idolization on these people in this first place, on Iskall, on any of the Hermitcraft members, because at the end of the day, they're people just like us. You know, we're all just nasty pieces of flesh. Like, we're not Jesus, we're not the Messiah, so stop treating these people like that. You know, they're not God. So they're human, they have feelings, they make mistakes, yes. That's why we hold them accountable. Nobody is really talking about the weaponization of the audience from both sides, because people like Iskall and the rest, some of the Hermitcraft members, they were weaponizing the audience that they have to, like, attack each other, and that's not a mature and effective way to handle the situation. It's really disappointing to see, like, that being done. And as a result of this, I will have to cut my support for Iskall. I'm not going to watch any of his videos. I'm not going to support him, because he did, like, a really, like, the way he decided to handle the situation, he decided not to go to the Hermitcraft members and have an adult conversation, and he just decided to bring police involved, when honestly the police shouldn't be involved. Like, he filed a defamation lawsuit. A lawsuit for defamation. Like, why would you do that first instead of talking with your members? And why defamation? It just makes it look like he has something to hide, to be honest. So, like, again, I'm not accusing him of, like, being this asshole, but his actions make him look like an asshole, I'm gonna be honest. And the actions that he did do, like the character attacks in the video, that asshole behavior. So I'm not gonna support Iskall because of the way he decided to go about things, and I'm not going to continue to support 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃, Scar, unfortunately, and Wells Knight and BDX Crafted, because of the irresponsibility that they had. They didn't need to make those passive aggressive comments, but they chose to. So I'm going to distance myself from watching their content, at least until further notice, until more developments are made, and then they decide to redeem themselves somehow. You know, there is still other Hermitcraft members that probably don't want to be involved in this situation, like Mumbo, Grian, Gem, 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀, you know, any other, like, Hermitcraft members that haven't directly responded to the situation. Like, they're like, I'm gonna choose to, like, distance myself from the offending members that I mentioned, and you may find my reasons a bit weird and childish or whatever, but just like you have your own reasons for supporting and distancing yourself for other people, I have my reasons, and somebody else might have their reasons for doing the same thing. All I ask is for people to just respect each other and to not insult each other just because they don't agree with you. And it's really annoying to have people in this community just argue with each other when it's supposed to be a chill and respectful and a wholesome community. And I'm really disappointed that these members decided to weaponize their audience like that and disrupt the peace. So yeah, that's all that I have to say about the situation. I will put the videos that I mentioned before in the description. I'll also put the documents and the tweets in the description as well. But yeah, I'm done rambling on. Please, anybody out there, please be safe and please be kind to those around you. I'm gonna go. So yeah, please, just please calm yourselves. Just please, I beg you. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Says evening, says night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.